Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's my guy knows a guy. I'm here with Jay Money is Money, a very special guest, our brother, a friend of the show, friend of the
Hey, how's it
NBA
going, everyone?
community. And yeah, I can hear myself on my own phone. How's it going, Jay? It's a long day today, man. And the information is wild today. It's wild.
It's going, man. Hey, chilling, man. Just got back to the house. Going doing some little Christmas shopping, man. Just chilling, man.
Yeah, that's what's
Trying to
up.
get some cash.
Trying to get some cash, maybe some free gifts, pay for some free gifts, off these games.
Did that, did
Just
that
trying to be on the
yesterday.
right side. Just trying to be on the right side, bro. So maybe we can just go straight to it. I'll pull up the odds right now. First of all, everyone that's been patiently waiting in the chat, we were waiting for some key information in some of the games that we haven't got yet, but we're still going to make the most out of the information that we do have. Try to make a quality analysis, and always we do want to preach that you should bet responsibly. J Money has taken some time to join us today. Plenty of games, but we're going to try to express through these games in about 20 to 30 minutes. If it's your first time watching the channel, hit subscribe and like for us. We're going to get straight to it. I'm going to pull up the odds right now on sportx.bet. Any opening thoughts, Jay, just on any of the games, like something that jumps out to you, or we can go in order too.
Oh, let's just go in order, bro. I mean, I could talk about it in the game. I mean, there's a few bits that I made. We'll talk about some props. I got a prop today, so I ended up betting that Garrison Matthews points and rebounds. I saw last game he only had 5 points, but he still had 8 rebounds. You think about it, with no Christian Wood out there, there's going to be even more opportunities him getting bored. So I know the points was 13 and a half, with the points and rebounds being 17. No, points, rebounds, assists. I got 17 and a half over 17 and a half. So even assists as well. We need all of that, not just points and rebounds, but I expect him to he could go off for 20 points, and I think he could literally get over that in points. So I'll take the over 17 and a half points, rebounds, assists, Garrison Matthews. If you don't know, you will know after tonight. My guy is one of the hardest playing guys in the league, man.
100%. Hey, someone give Garrison Matthews a real contract. This guy's on like a two-way deal. He's playing harder than guys like you said. I watched your show yesterday. He's playing harder than guys that are earning like 100 times more than him. Maybe that's an
Exactly.
exaggeration, but it's essentially what's going on. Someone give Garrison Matthews a real contract. It's interesting you started with that game as well. It's the first game on the board, the Cavs and the Rockets. If someone would have told us the Cavs would be favored by 9 against any team in the league before the season, you probably wouldn't have believed it, but they are pretty much the most profitable team in all of sports right now. Sometimes you can be late to the party. I have capitalized on a few of their spots. Jay, I posted earlier Cavs -9. How do you? We have injury report madness in this game. Everyone, Christian Wood is not playing on the Rockets side. We knew that already. Officially ruled out. The Cavaliers. The line is inflated. Actually, it just dropped down to 9 as we see. It just dropped down to 9. Jay, probably because of the Evan Mobley news we just got 5 minutes before we went live. How you feel about the spread in this game as well? I'll share a couple of the props that I played as well. I definitely feel that Garrison Matthews play, maybe Armani Brooks as well, because their usage is going to increase dramatically today. How you
Yeah.
feel about the side though? It's tough, huh? Inflated. It's
It's
inflated.
tough. You're starting to be able to pay a premium with the Cavs now. I'll tell you, I'm not in a hurry to bet against the Cavs. Like I lean Rockets here, but I'm not in a hurry to it because this is the thing, right? The Cavs have been balling. But I believe what they're 11-0 against the spread the past 11. So this team is actually playing lights out. The thing is, they're playing defense like none other. They actually care about defense. It's sticky. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit. The defense will take a tad bit of drop without having Mobley out there, but you still have Jared Allen. The perimeter guys are playing really good defense as well here Friday. So it's crazy. And now another thing, the Rockets don't have Eric Gordon or Christian Wood, and they've been covering spreads as well. 8-2 against the spread last 10. They've been covering them as dogs. So now that you're asking the Cavs to lay a premium here, having to win basically in a blowout, I think that the Rockets have the squad, even with everyone out. I think they still have the guys to keep this one within double digits. So it's Rockets or nothing for me. Probably won't play the spread. I want to take the Rockets, man. I do, but it's tough to go against the Cavs right now. It is.
It's tough. It's tough, bro. They've won 12 in a row against the spread. But what the Rockets have done in terms of their rebound, they're a team. Their trajectory is also rising. They're playing many different lineups. It doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't really seem to matter who starts for the Rockets.
Yep.
But for me, there's a lot to choose from today. It's just one of those games. You can't really blame me for taking the Cavs. I took the -9 early in the day. I'm just going to take the Cavs until the run ends. I can't be mad at anyone that takes them in the first quarter and the first half as well here. It's just one of those runs, and I'm just going to ride it until it's done. But the Rockets are a team that
That
have.
first half been cashing, bro.
I've
The Cavs.
reevaluated the head coach of the Rockets, Steven Silas. I've had to reevaluate him. He definitely has this group behind him. And it's like you said, it's the contracts. A lot of guys that are not getting paid, they want their money. I have some props to share in this game too. I'm gonna ride with you on that Garrison Matthews. The points and rebounds. I know, was it points and assists or points and rebounds?
What did it go up? What did it go to? Because look, remember we talked earlier and it was at 12.5. Then when I looked at it, it was at 13.5. It wasn't too long after we talked.
It's still 13.5 right now.
Okay, so that was before the Christian Wood news. I expected to possibly go up, but I got points, rebounds, assists over 17.5. That's what I told you. It was at
his assist is at 1. Is at 0.5.
Yeah,
I think he will get 1 assist.
You know what it was? I took this as a points and rebounds. This is what I took this as. Like, I'm not even looking at him to get many assists, although I think he's live for 2 to 3, mainly points and rebounds. I think I need him to get over 17.5 points and rebounds, my guy. So I'll be honest, he doesn't really get a lot of assists, but with the Cavs defense being so good, that could lead it open for him. But Garrison Matthews is the baller. He's playing, like I said earlier on my show, you want to look at towards the players that's playing for a contract. That's when you're balling out. That's when you care. You're playing passionately. You know what I'm saying? You're playing hard on both ends of the floor. Every play matters. Once you get the contract, that's when you don't give a damn anymore, right? You already take care of.
For sure.
What are we doing? You made $100 million playing basketball. You don't care about anything anymore.
Yeah, and the psychology you said is it's what it comes down to. Once you look at Julius Randle. Julius Randle was, even though for his size last year, he was hustling up and down the court, diving for loose balls. This year, he's a celebrity. He got the pay. He got the money and laid down. He got the money and laid down. You know, Big Apple. But I do have some more plays in this game, Jay. I'm gonna ride with you on that Garrison Matthews. I took Garrison Matthews at 2.5 threes, over 2.5 threes. It's minus 125, everyone. I also juiced it up to over 3.5 at plus 235, okay? So I'm riding the three-point train, and I'm running it back with Lauri Markkanen, okay? Lauri Markkanen on the Cavs side. Evan Mobley is out. More touches for Markkanen. I bet this at a better line before the Mobley news. Over 2.5 threes, plus 125 for Lauri Markkanen. It's probably going to be closer to plus 100 now. He's been a profitable three-point player for me. He let us down the last game, but I promise everyone, over time, he will make us bread. He's a distinct matchup edge for Lauri Markkanen. Give me Garrison Matthews over 2.5 threes. Give me Garrison Matthews over 3.5 threes. That's a sprinkle for plus 235. And again, the same thing for Markkanen. And then over 3.5 as well at plus 300. I just did the same thing. Regular bet on both of them over 2.5. And then a small sprinkle for over 3.5 at plus 300 and plus 235. I'm going to start to do that with players that I think are going to go over and take them at the boosted level as well. Just sprinkle it. I had that thought yesterday with Jason Tatum the other night when he hit 7. I just want to capitalize on these spots. And then Cavs -9 for me. It's -9.5.
We just saw a good question in the chat Friday. Lewis West says, how do you bet on the first half, first quarter on SportX?
Oh, okay. Well, SportX is a decentralized platform. We have first quarter, we have first half markets for NFL. They're being expanded for NBA. So for reference, I'm just using full game spreads for the platform on the screen on sportx.bet. Thanks for that, Jay. Just missed that. Lewis, what's up, bro? And if you have any more questions about the platform, ask, or you can send us a message on Twitter at any time. Also, take a second to follow both of us on Twitter. Follow J Money is Money, the legend. Follow him on Twitter. And check out his channel. He goes live every day. A lot of the times he goes live twice a day with Sharks and Sports as well. Follow the bros and check out the channel as well. Let's get back to it. We spent a lot of time on this game, but I'm getting a lot of questions about this game, Jay. A lot of people are interested in this Cavaliers-Rockets game today. There's just an intrigue around this Cavaliers team. Like, how far can these guys go? But eventually they have to regress, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at some point they have to regress. That's my thing. I like the Cavs squad. A lot of these have been in the underdog role. See what I'm saying? So it's not that they can't cover this spread, but you're definitely paying a premium with them now. I know the Cavs are nice. They're one of the best teams in the league. I still don't want to lay 9.5 with them, right? Especially against the Rockets, who've been covering these types of spreads. So I mean, anything can happen. So let's take some.
Yeah, let's move on to the next one. It's tough. Basically, it's just one of those games. I'm gonna watch it. Too bad Christian Wood didn't play. Could have been the game of the year. I'm just trolling now though. But the Magic and the Hawks, we got 7.5 right now. Jay, it dipped down from 8. It's actually been fluctuating between 7 and 8 across different across books. Right now on sportx.bet, you can get the Hawks -7.5. The total is 223.5. I'll be honest, everyone. I tried to look at this game a bit closer than normal, and I just couldn't pull anything quality out of this one. because of the Hawks lineup, but they do seem to have a mastery over this Orlando Magic team. How do we feel about this one, Jay? Any different thoughts than earlier?
Yeah, we just saw that Bumble is out since we talked earlier. So starting center is out for the Magic. They're not the type of team, in my opinion, that could be having guys out. The Hawks, it's tough to bet on them with Trae Young coming out saying he basically that the regular season's boring to him, and this is unexciting. It's not uninspiring. So I'm not trying to lay points right now with the Hawks, especially on the road. In theory, though, they have covered their last 4 on the road, and coming off that bad loss versus the Rockets where they were up 15, 16 points in the game, you end up losing outright at the house as 10-point favorites. I do think they could possibly come back with something from there. We know that the Magic are a door. They are a bottom feeder over there in the East. I do think they have some ballers like in the years to come. But Chuma Okeke stepping into the starting line is not bad. The Magic
is he starting tonight? Is Chuma starting tonight?
Okeke is starting tonight.
I'm gonna tell you guys something. Take Okeke steals.
Look at
every time he starts. Take Okeke steals. If your book offers Okeke steals, just to get one even.
That's smart. Block.
This guy is a steal machine.
Block. Yeah, a steal or block. I can see that, bro. I can see that. The Magic may come in here in this game and play harder than the Hawks. Obviously the Hawks are a lot more talented team. Will you get their best effort? That's the $1 million question in the NBA.
Exactly. Especially after that fourth quarter against the Rockets. Now you could see the Hawks emphasizing the beginning of this game against the Magic, with the way that they, as J Money says, pissed the game away against the Magic. You can see them putting an emphasis on the beginning of the game. It's just that, to me, right now, the Hawks bench is a bit thin. I lean towards them covering today. I just don't want to back them. Maybe look towards Kevin Huerter props, everyone. There's going to be a lot of defensive attention on Trae Young. He's been lighting it up recently. Maybe look towards Kevin Huerter threes and points. I didn't play it. Just some insight there. We can move on, though, to the mob team of the year, the Philadelphia 76ers, the team that does not care about us or the globe. They don't care about NBA. I'm just talking trash. They're still an NBA team. I'm still a fan of Joel Embiid. I just don't like the way the 76ers have been playing the injury reports. Still one of my favorite players to watch, Joel Embiid, but it's just tough to really get a grasp on this team, the 76ers. It seems like I always say the same thing with this team, but no 76ers game in the regular season is normal. You can't convince me that they are. None of them are normal when it comes to injury reports or live betting. But what can we pull out of this one, Jay? What's going on?
So the thing is, 30 minutes before the game, and we still don't know what's going on. So this is the Sixers, right? This is what we're doing here. Are they one of the teams that have the sports book in their arena? I know that the Nuggets, have one. If I'm not mistaken, I know that the Wizards have one for sure. Do the 76ers have a sports book in their arena, bro? It seems like they just have to be one of the ones. Man.
It's crazy, but I know the owner of the 76ers is starting a sports book based on Fanatics with Jay-Z. With Jay-Z. Jay-Z and the owner of the Sixers, you guys can look it up. They're starting a sports book called Fanatics Sportsbook, So
what are
it's
we
like
doing?
Owners, is that a conflict of interest? You don't really know. But when it comes to the game, guys, after the other day when I had Seth Curry threes parlayed with Jason Tatum threes, and Jason Tatum hit 7 threes, and Seth Curry just sat out before the game, I'm just going to chill on 76ers games for now.
Friday. Let me see. So look, they missed some bench pieces. No Korkmaz, no George, no Niang here. So that's actually low-key a couple of big pieces off the bench, if you ask me. That's probably leaning towards Curry and Embiid playing. I'll be honest, I'm surprised money coming on this game. Why would you bet this? Why would you bet the Sixers not knowing about Embiid and Curry? So they'll probably play. They do have the Nets tomorrow. Earlier, if you guys were watching my show earlier, I was saying that it could possibly be a look ahead. May not be too big of a look ahead for the 76ers because the Nets are without 5 players for health and safety protocols. One of those players being James Harden. So it's not that big of a game, but I'm sure the Sixers will still want to win a game. Obviously, they're coming off a 30-point blowout loss versus the Grizzlies. So in theory, they should want to come in here and smack up. The Heat have really struggled to score without Hero and without Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and Tyler Hero. They will struggle to score. So I could see this being the under type of spot, especially with the 76ers giving up a ton of points versus the Grizzlies as well. The way the Heat are played out right now, they're a defensive squad and struggle to score. And the same thing with the Sixers. They're especially with missing Niang and Korkmaz. I think this is an under spot if you ask me, my guy.
Yeah. Also, if Embiid is activated, it could be a contrarian under spot too.
Yeah, it'll
might even get a better number.
What do you think about Embiid slowing down the pace when he comes in? I'm just wondering. I'm not a pace guy. I'm not a total better. But I was thinking about this because when he didn't play versus the Grizzlies, it was a real up and down game. So I was just thinking, I was like, damn, does Embiid slow down the game? Or what? I was just thinking real quick.
He does slow down the pace, but I've been noticing since they've given Matisse Thybulle more minutes, they've been generating more turnovers, getting more baskets in transition. The Sixers, I think they tend to go under when they play elite teams. It tends to be a slower game. When they play teams that haven't made the playoffs in the last year or two, I'm noticing a more free-flowing game, similar to the game the other night, even though Embiid didn't play. It's a bad example against the Grizzlies. They allowed a lot of points. I'm not going to touch this one, Jay. Was looking at Duncan Robinson threes in this one, shortlisted, but I just chose to ignore this game tonight. Might tune in, though, but I chose to ignore this one.
What is Thybulle's threes at? And he's starting. And Doc Rivers said that he started, so that makes me wonder what they're doing with Curry, whatever. But Thybulle is starting. What is his threes at? Should be like over a half or something, right?
Yeah, I'll pull it up right now. I think he should be starting. He's a player that they should be rapidly developing. He has a Mikal Bridges sort of skill set. Obviously, the jumper is far away from Mikal Bridges, but if they really develop him and give him the minutes he deserves, the Suns rapidly developed Mikal Bridges into what he is now, So
he's making 2 threes tonight.
Yeah. My thing is actually, my platform is actually just kind of slowing down right now. I'm pulling it up for you, though.
Don't you hate it when they do that shit during the show?
The only plays I've listed, everyone that's joining us right now so far, J Money shared a play on Garrison Matthews PRA over, and I have Garrison Matthew over threes, Lauri Markkanen over threes, and the Cavs -9. I have 3 plays in that Rockets game.
That's a sprinkle for me. Y'all know I ain't no prop guy. That's a sprinkle for me, but I'm still on it. I'm still trying to win that motherfucker. I don't care if I don't care. You know what I'm saying? What I put, 100%. I'm trying to cast everything. Yeah,
100%. Everyone's telling us that Chris Middleton's out. I just got the alert about 5 minutes ago, everyone. Was just giving it a second to see if what the line turns into, okay? As you can see on SportX, it just went from -2 to 3.5 in the last 40 seconds. So you guys let me know your thoughts on that game. I posted the Bucks +2 earlier. We know the Bucks have a historical advantage over the Pacers, but obviously they're missing their 2 main guys today now, right? So for me, this is a contrarian look. We're going to get into this game in a second. For me, nothing on the Pacers. I mean, on the Heat and the Sixers. Jay's asking about Matisse Thybulle's threes. I'm going to pull it up right now.
I did not see it. Well, I don't see it right here. Another lean, I'd be leaning towards Kyle Lowry's points, rebounds, assists over 31.5. He will have a heavy usage tonight for Kyle Lowry. He's definitely their best offensive player. A lot of the offense will have to go through Lowry. You'll notice him without Butler, without a hero. He's taking a lot more shots, and he has to. Kyle Lowry has to be an offensive threat for these guys. So obviously he'll be getting assists. His starting point guard will have to do some facilitating as well. He's not a bad rebounding guard as well. I could definitely see Kyle Lowry getting over that 31.5 points, rebound, assists. Thybulle, Jordy says 1.5 over plus 185. I can't and won't talk you off of Matisse Thybulle threes. He's not a great 3-point shooter, but that's all the more reason why teams don't necessarily pay attention to him out there as well. So he'll be sitting out there or sitting in the corner. He'll probably get 4 or 5 attempts a game, and he can make 2 corner threes a game. So that plus 185 is not a bad bet if you ask me, my guys. We can get to the next one though.
Yeah, we can get to the next one. Good stuff there, bro. Thanks for sharing the insights. I just, like I said, I chose to kind of just you can't blame me, right? Let's move on to the Mavs and the Lakers. Primetime action right here. We have injury report hit job with the Lakers as well. They're going through some pains since last night. And then on the Mavs side, we have a team that's also without Luka once again. We just got a report that Luka will also not be traveling with the Mavericks for their next game against the T-Wolves. So as we zoom into this game tonight, for me in this one, there's no depth for the Lakers in this spot, but the Mavs have not been playing completely terrible without Luka Doncic. For me, this one's a stay away. It's a stay away for me. I can see the Lakers still pulling this one out, but I'm not going to take too much stock into the fact that they covered against the Magic. Joel Embiid we're getting news, everyone, as well. Joel Embiid is playing. Chris Middleton is not playing. So, any thoughts on the Lakers and the Mavs right here? It's also a game I'm not too interested in, but, have How you feel about this?
Good game to watch. Not one that I really be heavy into betting. I can really see it going either way, obviously by the spread. I'm a Mavs guy. I'd like to say that the Lakers will turn up here. I hadn't really liked what I've seen from them. They picked and choose their spots when they want to play. I mean, that's the story of the NBA these days. But what I saw versus the Grizzlies turned up and all that. But there was more in the Lakers. I saw a couple of plays where LeBron, AD, guys are literally just letting motherfuckers go right past them, literally making business decisions, not even necessarily dunking, just letting them go right past them, lay up, getting straight to the hole, whatever. So I hate it. I couldn't. When I said that, I said I won't be betting the Lakers for the foreseeable future. Their game pissed me off so much. It was mainly because I knew that wasn't their best, their best game, if you ask me, my guy. So I'd like to say I lean the Lakers. I hope my Mavs smack them by 20, my guy. But in theory, the Lakers came to play defense. They should be able to get it done in theory.
Yeah, just for me, Jay, also too many moving parts. It's like musical chairs, the Lakers, different lineup every night. We're still in that phase where they're sort of figuring out the rotation that they want, but the style of play, the basketball style of play, it's very alarming that you're already seeing Westbrook trade rumors. We're only 30 games into the season. You're already beginning to see Russell Westbrook trade rumors. That's very alarming as well. Just maybe a slower pace in this one, but I'm not going to partake in this one. Let's get on to the next one. Now that we have clear information about Chris Middleton not playing, I took the Bucks +2 earlier in the day. When it comes to closing line movement, that is now a terrible bet. There are other insights in this game as well. The Indiana Pacers, if they don't beat this Bucks team today without Giannis and Chris Middleton, they'll never beat them.
You're right.
They'll never beat them. It's just one of those the monkey on my back sort of games now. It's like, but does that put more pressure on the Pacers? And how do you feel about this game, Jay?
I don't know. It's Pacers are nothing for me, man. The Bucks own them basically, but this is the first time in a while where the Pacers are facing them with their starting five. And you add in Duarte as well. So this is the first time them facing them with their starting five, and the Bucks not having their big three, meaning Giannis, Holiday, and Middleton. So now you don't have Giannis or Middleton here. It's going to be basically on Holiday. It's going to be on guys like Grayson Allen. Pat
Connaughton, Bobby Portis.
Yeah, Giannis' brother comes off the bench with a ton of energy. Like, I actually love seeing Donis come out there. He just plays with so much energy and passion. He's one of those guys that doesn't get paid.
He enjoys the game for sure.
He's not a good offensive player at all, but it's all about grit. He's diving on the floor. He's going after rebounds, taking charge. I love to see it, man. I lean Pacers. Actually, the Pacers have been actually playing really good basketball. I think they deserve to beat the Warriors as well. They really played a good game in that one. Their bench players, guys like O'Shea Brissett, Keelan Martin, they're actually showing up, coming to play. Two guys that are playing for contracts. They don't get paid a ton, so they're out there giving it their all. It's Pacers are nothing for me here, my guy.
Yeah, and for me, it appears that the Pacers' core players they've been playing harder since the trade rumors, possibly to increase their own trade value. You see these rumors, you think it's a negative thing, but it makes everybody play better because some of these guys really do want to get out of Indiana. Yeah.
No, I was just saying, except for Miles Turner, the last couple of games, Turner's been low-key trash. I like Miles Turner. I think he needs a new fit with a different team, but most of the rest of the team has been stepping up. Turner hadn't just been terrible, but as far as offensively, his shot hadn't been there. You can see Brogdon tell him in that versus the Warriors game, hey, keep shooting. It's not there right now, so Turner probably does need a change of scenery, but I'm with you. They've been playing with some fire up under their ass ever since, even without Carlisle coaching. Ever since the rumors came out, I've seen a different Pacers squad.
Yeah, some of those guys are really trying to get out of there. They're trying to audition. They're essentially auditioning for other teams. But on the flip side, everyone, even though Giannis I'm just trying to be reasonable. I did bet the Bucks, so there's a bit of bias in what I'm saying. If you're betting on the Pacers right now, I don't blame you. You're making a quality basketball decision. It's just that you're pairing a team's recent performance with the Pacers, who are on the upswing, against a historical trend in the Bucks. Middleton played in the game, but there was a game last year without Giannis where they put up 140 on these guys.
Justin Holiday coming back. Yeah, and guess what? I don't think that they had Brogdon or Miles Turner in that game either, though.
Oh, okay. Actually, I need to zoom in further. For me, everyone, I like Pat Connaughton over 2.5 threes. I had that played before the Chris Middleton news, okay? It was plus 110. It might not be plus 110 because we just got the Middleton news while we're doing the show. But I do think Pat Connaughton over 2.5 threes is a solid look in this game. I have the Bucks plus 2 from earlier. And to be honest, I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to see how the beginning of the game goes, and may possibly place a live bet on the Pacers money line. If the Bucks get off to a good start, I'm going to place a live bet to reduce my position on the Pacers money line. That's my strategy in this game.
Justin Holiday's coming back today as well. He's coming back to play against his brother. Justin Holiday,
That's interesting.
Holiday has been out for a while. You know what I'm saying? Even when he came back from COVID, he wasn't ready to play. He was close to coming back last game. He's coming back to play against his brother Drew today. Gives the Pacers even more depth here. So I don't know. Call me crazy. Yeah. So they put up 140 at the house. It was no Giannis in that game. Let's see. They had Middleton. They had Holiday. Still had DiVincenzo as well and Brook Lopez. And it was Sabonis, LeVert, Doug McDermott still was on the squad, Justin Holiday, and then Sumner was starting. So there was no Brogdon, there was no Miles Turner in that game.
100%. Yeah, appreciate you for sharing that as well. Also, once again, everyone, we have a great audience watching right now. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to everyone not in the chat, whether you're interacting or not. J Money is Money is joining us today on NBA Betting Today. The platform on the screen, sportx.bet. Hit the like button for us and subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. Turn notifications on. Got some more videos, more content coming in the future. Just trying to go through the NBA schedule right now. So for me in this one, everyone, Pat Connaughton over 2.5 threes. I think that's a go. I was going to play that even if at plus money, even if Chris Middleton was in, okay? So that's my play in this game. I think it's one of those props that can hit whether the Bucks win or not. And for now, I'm going to let my Bucks bet ride. Unfortunately, I'm a bit boxed in because of the spread change, so I'm just going to let it ride for now and maybe try to hedge out with the Pacers money line during the game if it's an even game, okay? So if everyone's taking the Pacers right now and it's a quality basketball decision, I definitely don't blame you. It's just one of those games where I tried to anticipate Chris Middleton playing. But based on the conversation I had with Jay Money earlier, you know, a hyperextended knee is a very serious thing. A part of my handicap was that thinking that because, you know, on the surface, it is very serious. So he's so important to the franchise. Why didn't they just rule Chris Middleton out for a week in the first place? You know, it's one of those things. Manipulation. Yeah, it can happen. That's why we can share information late in the day. We have the info. But let's move on from this one. The team that shall not be named.
I do not.
Some Harry Potter shit. Some Harry Potter shit, bro. The team that shall not be named,
bro, if these
from New Orleans.
If they don't cover today, bro, Friday, when I tell you this, I have a pair of socks in there. Like, I'm burning the socks, everything, bro. I will never pass through Louisiana again. Like, this is on their second time being a road favorite. I don't know. The first one was versus the Red Hot Rockets team in their house. This time they're going up against the Thunder. Well, I still think are a bottom feeder. They had a couple games where they stepped up after losing by record 79 points. But this is the New Orleans basketball team. The only way that I could look in this one, my guy. I'm going to put some on it, but I couldn't suggest that anyone put money on this game.
Yeah, it's I mean, we're seeing suspicious results in these Thunder games after halftime. The Thunder may have hit the tank earlier than anticipated. Everyone thought that they were going to go hard the beginning of the season, first half of the season, develop their guys, and then just start tanking after All-Star break. As is expected of a team that has that many draft picks. But they have really slipped since that hot start they had. Different lineups on different nights. Just to recap for everyone that came through, someone did ask about the 3-point props I did list. I've got Pat Connaughton over 2.5, Lauri Markkanen over 2.5, Garrison Matthews over 2.5 so far. Okay, just to share that. But on this game right here, Jay, no play for me. No play for me in this game. But I definitely see the quality in the Pelicans since they activated Brandon Ingram. I'm just not going to – I have a lot of other bets spread out in this one and across the board tonight. I'm just not participating in this one. Although I think there are some opportunities in the future, even after today, to jump on the Pelicans. They're a team that is getting better at the beginning of games. That was their problem at the beginning of the season, was they were getting off to such horrendous starts that they just couldn't compete after halftime. Now they're getting off to much better starts since Brandon Ingram has a sample size. Maybe look at Brandon Ingram's threes as well, everyone. Or Mikhail Walker-Alexander off the threes, off the bench. He's a high-volume guy that lets it fly. Percentage really isn't there, but that's really all I have on this one. Anything else you want to share? Any other insights on the Pelicans Thunder? We can move on.
I was letting my guy James know that I got it. Yeah, over 17.5, minus 117 points, rebounds, assists for Garrison Matthews. Just a little bit more inside info. I always like to give people inside info that they probably didn't have before. The Thunder, 3 of their guys, well, 2 of them that mainly play a lot of minutes, Isaiah Roby and Pokashevsky. Both of those 2 were played on the G League team today as well for the Blue. So they played 25 to 30 minutes, and they're playing basically 2 games in one day as well. Those 2, I mean, you could throw Theo Maladon there as well. Really, all 3 of those, but Maladon didn't play as much. So 3 of their guys that play heavy rotations already literally played a basketball game already today, man. So it should be interesting to see what happens in this one. They hadn't even announced the starting lineup yet. We know that Dort is out. Be interesting to see what happens in this one. But the Birds, only way I could look in this one, my guys. Go to the next one.
Yeah, let's move on. Thanks for the insight as well. Good stuff. Smash that like button for us, everyone. Let's go. Let's get it. Another game, a much more watchable game. I'll call this a much more viewable game. Spurs, Hornets. We've got 3.5 right here. Spurs minus 3.5, a total of 223.5. This total has actually dropped 5 points. It's dropped 5 points from the open. No movement on the total. I did post earlier today. I placed a bet on the Hornets plus 3.5 earlier in the day. I think that this Spurs team still has a leaky defense. They did have a really good stretch during that week, Jay, where they beat the Warriors and they were going on that road trip, high quality road trip. They do have some quality pieces on this team. I just feel like this Hornets team, they match up really well with them on the perimeter with Rozier back in the lineup. I'm expecting a big game from Terry Rozier tonight. That's me. It's a contrarian look. A lot of people on the Spurs. I took the Hornets plus 3.5 here.
DeJounte Murray's a baller. It helps for the Hornets that Lonnie Walker's not out. Like the Spurs aren't one of those type of teams that can afford a lot of guys out. So they had a starting 5. They're kind of top heavy. Got guys like Ebanks come off the bench, but Lonnie Walker off the bench was actually pretty huge for the Spurs. If you ask me, guys like Forbes, they're not really doing a ton over there. I mean, you got Vassell. Vassell is a baller. He'll come off the bench and give you maybe 10 to 12 points. But Lonnie Walker not having him out there, it hurts. That's possibly why you can see this total slipping down as well, man. He means a lot to him. Give him energy off the bench. So I can't say though, DeJounte Murray has been the best player on the team for the Spurs, offensively and defensively. I worry about other point guards when they're going up against Murray. He's a taller type of guy, has long arms, athletic, really good defender, and he's starting to be a threat offensively now as well. I mean, they're starting to build another fucking baby Kawhi Leonard over there with DeJounte Murray. Like, don't look now, but go watch the game and watch Murray. Guy is going to be something here. He'll probably get traded away from the Spurs at some point. Guys, like, it's going to mean something. DeJounte Murray just seems like he fits on a team like the Suns or some long, lanky, sticky, like a Mikal Bridges type of guy, but he plays point guard. So this is the type of game I watch and learn. It's a tough game, Friday. Just to tell you, between me and you and everyone else watching, I don't like to fade home teams that's been at the house for a while, unless they're like a terrible home team. Like, I mean, no pun intended, your Raptors, unless they're a bad home team. I like to bet home teams that's been at the house for a while. This is the 5th straight game at the house for the Spurs. They do head out on the road after this, but it's a super comfortable spot. They hadn't had to fly anywhere or anything, but I don't know. It's something I like to do. I don't like to bet against the home teams when they've been at the house for a while.
For sure. And that's a money-making trend over time. For me in this game, it's more of it's about the line, the way that they graded the line. I just feel like with the Hornets lineup, it's you could assume that the Spurs should be favored by more here.
No, that's a good point.
They should be favored by more here.
Hey, look, the Hornets on a bounce back too by getting smacked up in Dallas. I hope you cash, bro. I hope.
It's one of those plays. I feel like Terry Rozier will be effective today against this team. On the Spurs side, though, I did have DeJounte Murray listed for over 17.5 points. I focused on 3-point props today, but I did have him listed for over 17.5 points. Another play I do have in this game, I actually bet money on this one as well. I didn't bet the DeJounte Murray points, although I do project him to go over, is Terry Rozier's threes over 2.5 plus 115. I've got the Hornets plus 3.5 here, and Terry Rozier over 2.5 threes plus 115 in this one.
I can see it. You're kind of talking me into Hornets here, man. Rozier, Hayward will need to come to life here and play a good game going up against Doug McDermott. You got to go for 20 here. Simple. Gordon Hayward has to go for 20 points here in this game. So Rozier, Hayward, they have to ball out. Bridges, you'll have to have a big game as well. And then I'm seeing Plumlee's game time decision. They could possibly get their center back, but this is the type of game with not having a ton of paint presence down there for the Spurs. Bridges and PJ Washington could go bunkers here. I hope you cash, my guy.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. Let's try to catch this. They need more from Miles Bridges beyond the 3-point line. They just need more from Bridges right now. So for me in this one, Hornets plus 3.5, Terry Rozier over 2.5 threes plus 115 in this one. We just got done talking about some of the other games. If everyone's joining us, hit the like button for us. And actually, let's speed up through these last few games, Jay. It's almost that dinner time game, tip off time. Let's get to it. Not too much more on the Hornets.
Jesse trying to give us a lock in the chat. Jesse say take the Timberwolves.
Okay.
Jesse says take the Timmies and meet them at the windows. What do you say?
Meet them at the window. Okay. We need to have a discussion about the disrespect in the media, not putting Nikola Jokic in these MVP conversations. It's getting crazy now. This guy's averaging like 28, 15, and 7. Is better than last year, but that's another time. If he takes this squad to the playoffs, bro, it's crazy. Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to that game. It's next on the board. The Nuggets and the T-Wolves. What do we have here? Bro? How do you feel about this
one? For me, waiting on Russell. It's simple. When you bet in the Timberwolves game, you wait on Russell. If he's out there, you look towards buying the Timberwolves. If he's out, then you look towards fading them. It's really that simple with the Timberwolves, no lie.
I have another play to add in the last game. I just looked at my list. I have another play to add. Doug McDermott over 2.5 threes. That's plus 165, everyone. His normal line is 1.5. If you're playing a parlay and want something for a parlay, I think the over 1.5 is a go. The minus 195 to combine with something, but I increased the risk to 2.5 for plus 165 in this spot. So I took Terry Rozier and Doug McDermott. Just wanted to share that note. On the T-Wolves game, it's like Jay Money said, D'Angelo Russell is a player that has definitely reversed his reputation this season as an effective player that can be trusted to remain on the court at the end of games. His decision making was questionable in previous years at the end of games. He wasn't making the most quality decisions, and quite frankly, he was a turnover machine. So if he gets into this game, I think these guys can compete with the Nuggets. Nikola Jokic is on some other shit right now, but let's wait on that news. Not too much on this one. Let's move on to another game. The Kings and the Wizards. I'm not betting on this game, Jay. I'm not betting on this game. This Wizards team made some good money with them over the course of the first 12 games of the season. Ever since they started lengthening their rotation, they have not been the same team. At the beginning of the season, when they were only playing 8 guys, now it was by force. Many of their guys were injured. When they had a tighter rotation, this Wizards team was better. Some of these other guys are not good defenders. Denny Avdia, I don't know. It's just not the same outlook for me on the Wizards. But then on the flip side, you have the Kings, just a complete dumpster fire, the worst team in professional sports. How do we feel about this?
The Kings just gave up 124 to the Raptors. Like, what are we doing here? Seriously. Like, I mean, this team, I thought that they could have kept it. I thought they could have kept it close versus the Raptors. I didn't bet it, but I'm going to the game like Kings +5 versus the Raptors. They can keep it up with that, just their offense alone. Their defense is absolutely terrible. So one thing, they had a little team meeting, closed door team meeting, all this shit. I usually like to bet on the team after that. I don't know if I could get here with the Kings. It's Wizards or none. I want to bet the Wizards here. This team is coming on, as Sharp's on it. I agree with them. You look at the schedule here, Wizards have lost the past couple games. They're not winning tomorrow. They're not winning in Utah. They probably won't win in Brooklyn as well. So their next 3 games are probably losses. You have to win this one if you're the Wizards, if you ask me. They've been on a tailspin. They're 0-6-1 against the spread last 0-5-1 against the spread last 6. It's tough to back the Wizards right now. I can tell you this. I'm not betting the Kings for the foreseeable future. Even their backup lame duck coach, Alvin Gentry, now he's out as well. So now what are we doing, my guys?
The assistants are out too.
They did have. I'll be waiting before that game. Like I said, I don't bet my games until right before. I want to take the Wizards. Heavy lean to Wizards -2.5. I may end up getting there. It's a little bit of hesitation. The Kings had a conversation, whatever, had a team meeting. Usually teams respond. I don't know about the Kings, though. And another thing, last thing I have to say about this, if the Kings do get blown out tonight, they won't be able to bounce back. When you have a team meeting and you still lose, that means y'all just ass. You're not on the same team. Someone's in there not wanting to buy in. So I'll be watching this game. I'll probably place a little something on the Wizards. If I lose it, then we'll get it back at some point, fading the Kings again. If the Kings do get blown out here, I'll tell you this. The next 5, that they'll go on a heavy slide. I'll tell you this.
Yeah, because there's no continuity. There's just a lot of controversy going on with the Kings right now. You're seeing a different trade rumor every 5 hours. COVID with the coaching staff. On the flip side, you have a Wizards team that has not been. We haven't been able to trust the Wizards like we have been able to at the beginning of the season. Okay, I'll be honest, everyone. I think the only thing the Kings can win here is the first quarter. They may be able to win the first quarter here, but also though it's a weird line. But I think the books have definitely taken into account the Wizards' lack of performance recently. Okay, they should be favored by more, but they're also on a downslide as well. But it's like Jay said, it's Wizards or nothing. But I'm not betting on this game. I just tweeted out some of the props I'm sharing on the show with some of the people who haven't been able to join us on Twitter. Jay, let's move on to the next game. Appreciate you, Jesse. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Jay Money is Money. He has a channel as well. You can type it. His channel is called NBA Talk with Jay. Subscribe to his channel as well, especially if you're into betting and following the NBA from a betting perspective. You know, it's different than the casual stuff you see on TV. It's just different. What's up, Akbar? How's it going, Anderson? We're powering through the schedule. Let's get to this Blazers Grizzlies game, and then we got the Jazz Clippers. And then it's dinner time on the East Coast, everyone. It's dinner time on the East Coast. Open up, Jay. How you feel about the Grizzlies and the Blazers? I have a play in this game. I think you do as well, possibly. Orlean, let's get to it.
This is probably the most public game of the day, if you ask me. And I said this yesterday, especially with the Warriors cashing, the whole public cashing, and with the Suns. I kind of said today that today may be the dog day. Now, the Blazers actually opened up the favorite as this one. The problem is now they're the dog. They're at the house. I know the Blazers have been on the slide. I sprinkled on Blazers first half money line. I'm not telling anybody to bet this, but I sprinkled on Blazers first half -1. I got it at +120. I took an alternate line on the Blazers here in the first half. If they don't win this and they don't come out with something in this one, it's the same thing with the Kings. They won't have anything. Now, there's a lot of things going on with the Blazers right now. A lot of trade rumors, things with the coach, with the GM, all of this. But this another team had a team meeting and they really responded well versus the Suns. I told this to my guy earlier. They actually deserved to win that game. I was on the Suns and I needed them, so I'm glad they didn't. Unfortunately, it ended up going to overtime, but I think that the Blazers will respond tonight. I know the Grizzlies have been balling. They're world beaters without Ja Morant. At some point, it will come to an end. It may not be tonight, my guys, but I do think the Blazers will revert back to playing some really good home games. They had a really good effort last night. A lot of people saying Dame played 47 minutes. He didn't play for 2 fucking weeks before that, so I don't think he'll be too tired. He kind of turned the corner last night. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the Blazers take everyone's money tonight. I think this is the fade the public game of the day, but I don't want to talk anybody or bets. If you're on the Grizzlies, hey, especially if you've been cashing with them, keep riding with it until they lose. But I do think that the home team could possibly have a representative effort here, my guys.
Okay, yeah. Jay, you know what? I'm gonna ride with you, bro. I'm gonna take that first half bet on the Blazers. I'm gonna book that with you, bro. I'm riding with Jay Money on this one, everyone. And it's just a contrarian spot. Hey, everyone that's watching right now, I want to tell you something about myself. I'm a natural contrarian, and a lot of the things that I say don't really make sense on the surface. And I do take some L's when it comes to that. But I'm trying to win in aggregate. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I'm on the right side over the course of time, over a length of time. You know, I believe in sports betting. Contrarians win over the course of time. So on the surface of it, you can say, you know, the quality of the pick is just not there. But these are the types of plays that cash over time.
Yep.
You know, these are the sorts of plays where the public's just piling up on one side late night, the only event on. It's
Across
just
the board. Last thing, Friday. Across the board,
Yeah.
all of the money is on the. This happened yesterday with the Warriors. The books knew that shit was still going to cash, though. They couldn't do anything about it. Steph's night, right? They couldn't do anything about it. With this game, across the board, it's not the Grizzlies. They're not breaking a record or anything. They don't have to win this shit. So we'll see what happens. They still got some ballers. Bane's still a baller. Jaren Jackson Jr. still a baller. Dylan Brooks. These guys are absolute ballers. I can tell you this. But I would not be a bit surprised if the Blazers came out here on top, my guys. First half and full game.
Say less. I'm on it with you. I have a play in this game as well for everyone. I just tweeted out the 3-point props that I like for today. There are a couple more that I'm going to share right here that are not on that list. I just tweeted out 6 of them for the people that just joined on Twitter. My guy knows a guy. One of them is in this game. It's Desmond Bane. I'm taking Desmond Bane over 2.5 threes at -130, and I'm also taking Desmond Bane for a smaller bet over 3.5 threes at +190, +195.
I like it.
That's a play that I think can win, even if the Grizzlies get even if they lose. Just a machine gun Bane, bro. When I heard the Memphis Grizzlies commentator call him that, machine gun Bane, we're taking Bane after bad games, bro.
He's from right
this
here.
This guy is
Fort Worth,
unconscious.
Texas.
He's already made us a lot of money.
He's right here from DFW, Texas, my guy. Right.
They know that.
Word. I know him. I know his cousin. I know Bane. I know he can ball, and you're definitely right. That's something that could hit. And in all honesty, that's the breakdown for me. You stop Bane. Everyone has been overlooking the Grizzlies. If the Blazers do come in here and take away Jaren Jackson Jr. and limit him and limit Bane, guard him on the 3-point line, which he can still hit his prop. But if you target those two and make everyone else beat you, it's a winnable game, man. We'll see what happens. I can't wait to watch this game.
It's big time. It's big time.
I think maybe some fishy shit may go on here. Simple. I think some fishy shit. And another thing, I'm going to tell you something here. When you see these female refs, they usually go towards the home team. And you look at it, they have some female ref in this one. Her name's Danielle something. I believe she's 9-2 straight up for the home team. These are facts that I'm speaking here. This is something I noticed. I actually see some bullshit called in these games. I'm like, what are these females calling, man? It's not that they can't ref. I don't know if that, but Danielle Scott. So I'm just going to tell you. So Danielle Scott, she's 9-2. The home team is that right? Let me see. Come on, switch for me, baby. Let me see. I'm pretty sure Danielle Scott, 9-2. It's not showing me. I'm pretty sure.
It's crazy these Blazers. It's crazy these Blazers laid down on Chauncey Billups like this, though, bro.
It is.
That's a whole other conversation. But that has nothing to do with tonight. But it's crazy because I had a chance to. It's crazy, man. I'll talk about that another time. I met him and his wife. That was during the Raptors finals.
I know Kane
Chauncey
Fitzgerald.
Billups is a very nice guy.
Listen, Friday. Kane Fitzgerald is the crew chief. He's 9-2 to the home team. For some reason, it's Danielle Scott. She's not pulling up, but some I've noticed in the NBA, when you have an NBA female ref out there, she's usually calling some bullshit for the home teams. I don't care. I said what I said. Let's go to the last one.
I know that referee statistics are you can like look up the track record of referees now, like and the against the spread records for every referee in the league. So I haven't really looked into that, but let's move on from this one, everyone. We got J Money Blazers first half. I'm gonna ride with that as well. I'm tailing J Money on that, and I'm gonna take. I've already bet Desmond Bane over 2.5 threes and over 3.5 threes, but the 3.5 is way smaller. Okay, the last game of the day is a game we've waited to speak about until the end of the show. Still no news on Paul George. Okay, so how can we really accurately assess this game? Like, I spent a lot of time capping this game. I lean towards the Jazz. I know the Jazz have been waiting for this Clippers squad since when was it? It was July, right? It was a late playoff. Yeah. I think the Jazz are going to go crazy today from the 3-point line. But I just want the better number. I want them to say PG is in. I don't like that they dangled this all day. Getting bad vibes on this now, Jay. Getting some pretty bad vibes on this now, actually.
I like the Jazz, man. This Jazz are nothing for me. It's simple. It's Smack City spot. It's real simple. They lost 4 straight games. Donovan Mitchell got hurt, his hamstring, his ankle. He wasn't the same. The Clippers went right at him. They think that, hey, shut down Donovan Mitchell, it's over. I don't think they'll be able to shut him down. He's not hampered right now. He's actually cooking. He's actually like hitting threes. You look at Donovan Mitchell's threes, the prop is going to be like at 4.5. He's a baby Steph Curry right now. If you've seen Donovan Mitchell play, he's taking bodies out there. These guys have had 3 days off of rest. They come back from a road trip, smacking everybody up. Let's go mow them down real quick. We're going to go back to the house, have 3 days off, getting ready for this Clipper squad. I want to see Paul George in there. That way the Jazz really take this game serious. I see a smack city spot by the Jazz with or without Paul George.
Yeah, with or without Paul George, it may not matter. I just want to know what the number will turn to when he's activated or if he's not. It's one of those scenarios where you could be on the wrong side or the right side just because of the time of the day that you placed the bet. I lean towards the Jazz heavily in this one. More 3-point props for the people looking for more plays in this one. I have these listed. I'm going, depending on how the early slate goes. I'm gonna bet these. I've already actually bet a couple of them. Let me share them with everyone. Joe Ingles over 1.5 threes. Okay, -110. Joe Ingles over 2.5 threes, +150. Jordan Clarkson over 2.5 threes, -120. Jordan Clarkson over 3.5 threes, +140. Both of them coming off the bench. Both of them I project to have above average 3-point performances against this Clippers bench tonight. That's something I projected, and I lean towards the Jazz. Maybe you can play some props in this one, but that's what I like. I like Clarkson threes, Ingles threes. We have some alignment on the Jazz. Sounds like it might be a last-minute book right here. Might need to book this last minute, though.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, so...
If Paul George is in there, we're getting a better line. Let's go down
straight
to
up.
At least -7.
Could go -7, 6.5. It could go in that range easily. He's a franchise guy. He's a franchise guy. We've shared a lot of plays, everyone. Me and Jay, we talked about doing this earlier, and we talked about doing this for 30 minutes. We went twice as long. That's how it goes. Time flies when you're having fun. We really appreciate you joining us on NBA Betting today as well. Jay, you're welcome on the friend of the channel, friend of the show, anytime. Can't wait to keep talking more NBA with you guys. Make sure you guys go follow the bro. J Money is Money. Follow myself, My Guy Knows a Guy, on Twitter. Follow SportX Project and SX Network on Twitter as well. Visit sportx.bet, the platform that you see on the screen, the crypto sportsbook owned by its community. If you're into sports betting and crypto at the same time, it's a no-brainer. Long term, it's a no-brainer. And send us an inquiry or message about any questions you have about the platform. We have a full blog with an FAQ with information about how you can earn crypto on the side while you're betting on the sports games, expanding the offerings. I have a long list of plays on today. I've got the Cavs -9. I've got the Hornets +3.5. I have the Bucks +2 earlier, but that's difficult to promote right now with the information of Chris Middleton. I will take my L if it happens. I'm letting it ride for now, everyone. If you took the Pacers, no harm in that. I've got Terry Rozier threes, Lauri Markkanen threes, Garrison Matthews threes, Desmond Bane threes, Doug McDermott threes, and I just said them. Desmond Bane, Terry Rozier, Doug McDermott, Pat Connaughton, Lauri Markkanen, Garrison Matthews. I've got them all going over the 3-point totals tonight. J Money, what you got for the people today? Maybe a bit of a recap. We'll get out of here.
My guy is the prop god, man. That's like 12 props right there, man. Just some sprinkles for me. Be honest with you, I hadn't been going official with anything. Just playing some personal plays, man. Some sprinkles. So, for me, man, what I have my money on, I sprinkled on the New Orleans basketball team. Also I had a little something on the Pacers as well, man. These are little sprinkles, my guys. If I make some real bets, it'll be right before the game. I put some on Blazers first half, -1, man, at +120. Just a sprinkle, but I do like it. Heavy lean to Wizards, my guys. Heavy lean Wizards. Like I say, Blazers will. Heavy lean to Jazz. Hadn't bet that one yet, but still like it. Smack City. Lean in Timberwolves, waiting on Russell. Like I say, lean Pacers. Lean the basketball team. Lean Lakers, staying off that one. And that's about it. And Grayson Matthews, my guy. Garrison Matthews over 17.5 points, rebounds, assists.
That was the other one. I forgot to type it. That was the other one at the beginning. Yeah. Yep. Let's cash, everyone. Disclaimer, everyone. I do bet less on props than sides. So overall, not the highest volume in terms of total bet size. Let's cash, everyone. Bet responsibly. You guys already know what we're about to say. Bet responsibly. Catch us another time. Maybe Spaces or something, Jay. Enjoy dinner. Enjoy the games. Let's go.
All right, my guys. We out. Let's cash.